Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Super excited to share this one with you. I picked up some fabulous supplies from Dollar Tree for my first Dollar Tree DIY video for the 2024 Christmas season. I'm so excited to share these crafts with you. So we're going to just jump right into it. But I do want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy what you see here, it helps my channel so much. When I saw these house ornaments at Dollar Tree, I knew exactly what I was going to do with them. These are so stinking cute. I am going to be making the most adorable shelf sitter with these. So I picked up 4 of the houses. I got 2 green, a red, and a white. I began by removing the twine string since I'm not going to be using these as ornaments. We are going to set these aside for now and work on the base. For the base, I found this Gather shelf sitter in the home decor section at Dollar Tree. This has an unfinished side, so we're going to turn it around and make sure that that part faces the back. I'm going to remove the leather Gather tag. It does have pins in it, so if you want to recreate this DIY, just be very careful with this step. And now it does also have this floral design here, but we don't have to worry about that because it's going to be covered. Next, I'm going to do a dry fit with my houses. It's always a best idea to do this before breaking out any glue, just to make sure everything fits properly. I did a staggering look, placing 2 in back and 2 in front. To secure my houses, I'm going to be using Gorilla Glue Super Glue with a combination of hot glue. The hot glue tacks everything in place and holds it while the super glue sets. If you want a really good hold, this is the best method that I have found. Hot glue is great, but I do find that it does wear down over time. I begin by putting the super glue on first, all around the base edge, and then apply my hot glue. You don't need a lot of hot glue because remember, this is just to tack the houses in place while the super glue sets. Then I place my houses in the spots where I want them and I repeat the process with the remaining houses. I let this set for about an hour just to make sure that the glue is really secure. Once I knew my glue was set, I came in with these mini trees I got last year at Dollar Tree. These are a Christmas staple and they usually have them every year, so I'm sure you'll be able to find them. I used tiny off-cut wood pieces that I've saved from my laser cuts, but you can find similar small wood pieces at most dollar stores. I used super glue to glue them into place, and then I added in all the trees. I continued adding in trees until I was happy with the amount that I had. You can add as little or as many as you want. This part is personal preference, but I do highly suggest elevating them and making them varying heights as this elevates the look of the project. And now for this stuff, my favorite stuff for Christmas crafting, Snow Tex. This really elevates your Christmas crafting and I highly suggest picking some of this up. For my American subscribers, I have a 20% off code for you that you can use on the Decoart website. Unfortunately, my Canadian friends, Decoart does not ship to Canada, but I do have in the description a link to Michael's or to Amazon where you can get this. And I'm Canadian myself, so I feel you on that. But anyways, this stuff is super easy to apply. You just pounce it around, you add as little or as much as you like, and I'm using it here to cover the ornament hooks just to disguise those a little bit. And then this is the finished project. Alright guys, for this one, you're going to want to head to Dollar Tree before all their Halloween stuff is gone. I know it's quickly approaching, but pick up one of these trick or treat signs and then you're going to take a sander and you're going to sand off all the glitter finish. So the reason why I bought this sign was basically for the shape, but I'm going to be removing all that glitter. I'm not too worried about the glitter around the side, and you're going to see why before the end, but I'm going to give it a coat of just white chalk paint just to cover up and do a nice base coat. And I'm actually going to leave the pumpkin display on there. And then I'm going to come in with this Decoart suede. Now this paint gives a suede-like finish, but you'll have to paint it in a cross-hatch painting technique. So you can see me doing that painting technique here, where you basically just cross over your brush, and that's what helps give it this suede, really realistic finish. Then I'm going to come in with one of the Dollar Tree little crates, and I'm going to stain it in this Americana Decoart gel stain in the shade Walnut. I'm going to make sure I do the whole box, making sure I get inside the handles and the inside of the box as well. We want to do the whole thing because you're going to see every angle of this box, so we don't want to leave any of it unfinished. Then I used my Cricut to cut out some stencils. If you don't have a Cricut, you could always use stickers from the dollar store, but I just cut out the words Farm Fresh, and then I'm going to put it on over top of the Decoart suede. Now, it was a little hard to do this because of the finish of the suede, so I did get some bleed through, but I'm okay with how it turned out, and you'll see why in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and pounce on some evergreen Decoart acrylic paint just with a makeup sponge, and then there you can see the bleed through. And also, because of the stickiness of the vinyl, it peeled off some of the paint, but I'm going for a rustic look with this sign, so I think it's going to turn out okay. Then I'm going to take a paint marker and I'm just going to fill back in those lines that were originally on the sign. I can see them through the paint, so I'm just going to go around and redo them all with a fresh coat of paint marker. So I'm going to do the little flourishes as well. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and scruff it back up. Because I had the vinyl remove some of the paint, we're going to go for a rustic look now. And we're going to try to make this look like an old tin sign. So I'm just going to rough it up with a sanding block. And then for my little crate here, I'm going to put the rest of my stencils on. And here's a hot tip for you, quite literally hot. Use a heat gun when you apply your stencils just to seal them down, and that really helps without getting bleed through. So I'm going to stencil on in just some white acrylic paint the rest of my stencil onto my little crate here just to say Christmas trees, cut and carry. And then again, using the heat gun again, just as my little hack for good stenciling. It's helpful to use a foam brush for this. And then I'm going to go ahead, and the last little part of my design here is just the little flourish line that goes in the middle. And then once I've done that, the crate part is finished. Now you could seal this with a sealer. I don't think it needs it, but I just left it plain. I didn't want a high gloss on it or anything. And then I'm going to come in with some super glue, and I'm using my laser offcuts here again, but again, you can just use any scrap wood that you have laying around. And I'm going to take some of the Dollar Tree bottle brush trees, and I'm going to place them into the crate. Now, the middle one I did have to cut down just so that it would fit, but this is easy to do with a pair of wire cutters. And you're just going to shove it in there, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our little crate and we're going to glue it right over this pumpkin. So now you could remove the pumpkin if you want, but I thought it was good to leave it because it kind of stands off the crate a little bit from the sign, so that's why I left it. And then I'm going to take a bit of white acrylic paint and just do a dry brushing technique all over the sign just for that nice extra added rustic touch. Alright guys, so this little fun barn I just found sitting in a box of random stuff at Dollar Tree. So I don't know if this is an everyday item that they have or it's just a one-off because it was the only one that was there. But I took this home and I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. So I came in with this acrylic paint in deep red and I painted over the front of the barn. Now this part was a little bit frustrating, I'll admit. It was hard to cover up, and then when I put on more paint, it was peeling off the paint layer that was underneath. So once I decided that I had to come in with a foam pouncer and just pounce the paint on, it actually went a lot better, but I ended up doing like almost 4 coats on this thing. And then I came over the edge of the roof and repainted that black because I got a lot of the red on it. But when you're painting things like this, always remember to paint the sides as well, because that's what will make it look more like a cohesive unit. Then I came in with some popsicle sticks that I got at Dollar Tree, and I just cut off the curved edges so that they were straight little sticks. And then I came in and marked out a barn door. So I honestly didn't really, take exact measurements or anything when I was doing this. I was just kind of eyeballing it and going along as I was working away here, and just kind of cut some angled pieces just to make the Z pattern in the garage door. But it's super easy to make. It's basically 4 sticks to make a box and then a long stick in the middle cut at a diagonal edge to make the Z pattern on the barn door. Before gluing my sticks in place, I actually traced around them first, making a square, and then with a ruler, I marked out at about 1/4 of an inch little lines that I then came in with the ruler and made big, long vertical lines throughout the square. I want to make this look like a realistic barn door, so I'm going to be using a wood burning tool just to indent these lines. So I just go along each line with the wood burning tool, and then I also go ahead with a Sharpie and fill in those lines because it's MDF, not real wood, so they were coming out really light. So just to darken them up again, I come back in with the Sharpie and fill them in, and then I repeat this process with the wood burning tool as many times as I like until I get the desired depth and look that I'm after. I stained the popsicle sticks with the same gel stain that I used in the previous DIY, and then I applied super glue to them and reset back up my barn door here over top of the indented lines. Once I was happy with this, I decided to do a board and batten as well on the barn just for a little bit more depth and dimension. So I used more popsicle sticks and then I just marked the lines on the edges of the roof line and cut them to fit. So this is super easy to do just by placing them there, marking the little lines, following the line of the roof, and then putting them into place. I'm doing a dry fit here just to make sure that they all look good and even, and then I'm going to remove them and stain them with a little bit of red paint and water. So you just water down the paint again a little bit and then you get this nice little stain finish. And then I'm going to go ahead and do another dry fit because I just want to make sure they fit before adding the glue. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to glue them into place. Once I have them all glued into place, I'm going to add just a little finishing touch to this little barn just to give it that Christmas flair, and I'm going to be making a tiny little wreath for the front. So to do this, I use one of the garland ties from Dollar Tree and I just wrap it around and cut it to fit on the size of the barn. And then I also got this berry garland from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to cut off some of those and hot glue them into the garland tie. And then I'm going to take a ribbon here that I got at Dollar Tree as well, and I'm just going to cut out the word Merry Christmas and I'm just going to hot glue that across the wreath, glue it onto the barn, and then add just a little bit of distressing to the roof line and as well to the little board and batten pieces on the barn. And then this little guy is finished and it turned out so cute. Okay guys, I did stray from Dollar Tree, but I did have to find the most perfect gingerbread color spray paint. I came across this nutmeg color and it was okay, but then I saw this warm caramel, and this is from Premier from Canadian Tire. And it is perfect, the perfect gingerbread color. And you're going to see that in just a minute here. But I went back to Dollar Tree and I grabbed their ever popular plastic doll houses that everybody's using for gingerbreads. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel here, painting the dollhouse's gingerbread color, but you're going to see the finished project is just a little bit more wow. So you need 2 of these. I have a third one there. That's for a different project, but you want 2 of the same. So we're going to be taking the dollhouses and we want to make sure that we spray paint the insides, and you want to make sure you let these gingerbread houses dry sufficiently. So I left these even for a couple days, and then I came in with the slick dimensional paint from Tulip as my quote-unquote icing, and I iced my gingerbread houses. Now this step does take quite a bit of time, but if you put on a Christmas movie and just kick back and do some painting, it's actually quite therapeutic. So, and then we're going to make a base for this. So I found these little boxes at Dollar Tree in the home decor section, and I'm going to go ahead and paint them with the suede paint, the same paint that we used a couple projects ago. Again, doing our cross hatch painting technique pattern so we get that beautiful suede finish. Then you're going to let this sufficiently dry, and then once it's dry, you're going to come in with your houses and you're going to just glue them on top. This is a close-up here that you can see the suede finish there. And then I'm going to actually break off the little clips because I found that they weren't actually coming flush together with those little clips in there. So I'm going to use the hot glue and super glue technique again, gluing the base of both houses with both the glues, and the hot glue again just helps it to stick together while the super glue is drying. And we're going to push it together here, and then we're going to spread a little bit of super glue and hot glue on the top just so we get that nice hold. And then I'm going to come in with the candle holder that we bought at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use some hot glue and super glue again, and we're going to put it right in the middle, and then we're going to press it down, and you want to make sure you hold this for at least a good 30 to 40 seconds. Then I'm going to come in with more of the Dollar Tree little Christmas trees, and I'm going to put them in place again using my little riser technique with my wood offcut so they're varying heights, and I'm just going to glue as many on as I want until I have the desired look. Now after doing this project, I did wish I used white trees instead of these little green ones, but oh well, it's finished anyways. And then I'm going to come in with some more Snow Tex, and we're just going to glob this on. Now I'm putting a lot of Snow Tex on here because I'm trying to cover up a little bit of imperfections and cover up any holes and gaps around the risers of the trees, and as well the seams where the two gingerbread houses come together. That's why this Snow Tex stuff is awesome too, because it fills in a lot of that stuff. Okay guys, another Halloween item you're going to want to grab from Dollar Tree before they put it all away. This Welcome to the Moonlit Manor haunted house sign that I'm going to be turning into, you guessed it, a gingerbread house. So we're going to come in with our warm caramel spray paint, and we're going to give it a nice coat, let that sufficiently dry, and then we're going to come in again with the Tulip Slick dimensional paint, and all we have to do is just outline the house and then fill in the inside. I pulled up some pictures online that I could go off of, and then I just kind of continued filling in the design as I went along, and this is what came out. This is a super cute, it's easy. It's a little time consuming, but a very easy project, and I think it turned out so cute. I did add in a little bit of Snow Tex because, as you know, I do love this stuff, and I thought it would just kind of fill in any little bottom pieces and as well cover up the MDF frame on the top of the roof peaks and just give it that little extra dimension. For this last project, I picked up the Tumbling Tower game from Dollar Tree, and I brought it home and I divided up the pieces into sets of 4. So I just piled them into little piles just to make it easier, and then I came in with this berry color in the Vintage Effect Wash line from Decoart. This is a paint-like stain that you can use to stain wood, and I just brush it on and then wipe off the excess. I also did up some in their brown color and as well some in their gold Vintage Effect Wash. So these little Jenga pieces are actually kind of cute. Some of them even have little rustic detailing on them, like this one has a nice little knot in the wood. And then you're going to go ahead with some hot glue and you're going to glue together a frame. Now you want to glue them together with the thin side facing up, and you're going to glue them in the pattern like I've done here. Then for the backing, I'm going to use some cardstock, and I like this Cricut cardstock because it almost looks like a canvas. It has that kind of linen look to it, and I'm just going to trace around my little square and cut it out. And then I'm going to just check the back to make sure it fits, and then I'm going to take these rub-on transfer sticker sheets that I had in my craft collection. If you don't have something similar to this, Dollar Tree has lots of stickers that you can use in their scrapbooking aisle, but I'm going to be using these since I already had them, and I'm just going to rub them onto the craft cardstock, and then I'm going to remove it and then just add a little bit of hot glue to the back of my square and then place it directly over the cardstock. And then I have a cute little framed picture. There are so many possibilities for these ornaments. Like I said, you could use scrapbooking stickers from Dollar Tree, you could use old Christmas cards, gift wrap, family photos even. It's just a cute little way to frame any picture that you like using the Tumbling Tower game. Now for the back, to hang these up since they're ornaments, I'm just going to take a little bit of ribbon and I'm just going to fold it in a loop, apply a little bit of hot glue on the back, and then just push the ribbon into that. Now to make sure it's extra secure, I'm just going to take the backing from one of my transfers and I'm going to add some hot glue and just place that right over top, but any scrap paper would work for that. The other idea that I had was cutting out pictures from a magazine, and this is my old Country Living magazine. I actually came across this page with the Bing Crosby Merry Christmas album cover, and it's the perfect size to do one of these ornaments, and I just love Bing Crosby, so I thought this was perfect. So I just hot glued it on the canvas cardstock, and then again just secured it to the back of the little frame, and super cute. So I just went through the magazine, found a couple others that I liked, this little wreath picture, and continued making a ton of these little ornaments. I could have made these all day, honestly. They're so cute. But here are some of the ones that I came up with using the pieces of the magazine and then some of my transfers. I think I may try this idea again using old Christmas cards or even, like I said, gift wrap. So just a super cute idea. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these projects. I hope it gives you some inspiration for some Christmas crafting. Let me know in the comments what you think. And again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see here on my channel. I would love to have you as a follower, and I will be back with more great Christmas crafting content real soon. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.